Hi there, I'm Becky from Nomadic Knits, and today I'm going to show you how to work the honeycomb that we are using in day 10 of the 2024 12 Days of Knitmas Mystery Knit Along. I'm going to jump right into what this looks like. The honeycomb is worked over 6 stitches, and it involves multiple instructions within the instructions. So what I did to help clarify this is to break this down into 5 different sections. And if you're looking at your instructions, you can see that I've separated these every time that you turn the yarn. So to begin the stitch, we're going to slip 1 with the yarn held in back, and this is, we are slipping purlwise. Then we'll knit 5 and turn our work. That's what I'm referring to as portion 1 of this stitch. For portion 2, we'll slip 1 with yarn in front, purl 4, and turn. Again, all of these slip stitches are being slipped purlwise. For section 3, we'll slip 1 with yarn in back, knit 4, and turn our work. And now section 4 is the section that throws a little bit of a kink into this nice little rhythm that we developed so far. So for section 4, you'll slip 1 with the yarn in front, purl 4, then you're going to slip 1 with yarn in front, slip 1 with yarn in back, bring your yarn through to the wrong side again, and slip the last 2 stitches back to your left hand needle and turn. So as you can see, that's a pretty big chunk of directions there, and that is 4. And then from there, we'll slip 1 stitch with our yarn held in back and knit 4. That's section 5. And that encompasses the entirety of the honeycomb. It's a bit easier to see when it's written out in this style. And you can see that a new section begins after each turn. Same for section 4, and then we finish up with section 5. And I'm hoping this will help to make this more enjoyable for you and also to help you memorize it. It is possible to memorize it. I know it looks like a lot of writing to remember, but once you've worked it a few times, it begins to sort of stick and it can become intuitive. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Now, as we're working this is simply to demonstrate how we work the honeycomb stitch. This is not representative of how the stitch is going to be placed in the 12 Days of Knitmas pattern. So don't let that throw you off. I'm simply using a swatch here and fitting in a couple of these honeycombs. Let's jump in and review this honeycomb swatch. We'll go ahead and knit these first 3 stitches of the swatch. And this is where we're beginning our honeycomb. So our first instruction is to slip 1 with yarn in back. So our yarn is held to the back. We're going to slip 1, and we're slipping it purlwise, and then we will knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we turn our work. Section 2, we'll slip 1 with yarn in front, so our yarn is here in the front. That's where mine remained after turning my work. So we'll slip 1 and purl 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to turn our work again. Work section 3. Our yarn is already in the back. We'll slip 1 purlwise and knit 4, 2, 3, 4, and turn. Now we're in section 4. We'll slip 1 with yarn in front, and our yarn is already in front there, and purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll slip 1 with yarn in front. So our yarn is still in front, slip 1, then it calls for us to slip 1 in back with yarn in back. So your yarn was here. When you slipped that stitch, you bring it around to the back of your work and slip the next stitch. Bring yarn through to the wrong side. So this is the back of your work here. This is your wrong side. And then slip the last 2 stitches back to your left-hand needle and turn your work. Now we will slip 1 with yarn in back, and your yarn is already there, and knit 4, 3, and 4. Okay, so you can see that we ended up with a lot more knitting in this section than you normally would in one row. We knit multiple rows, and now we're going to carry on, and that's what provides this shape. And in the pattern, the next stitch is slipped with the yarn held to the back, but these are just a couple of little spacer stitches that I created so that we can go ahead and practice our honeycomb stitch again. So let's say that our directions say that we are coming up to our next honeycomb stitch. We are going to slip 1 with yarn in back and then knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work. Slip 1 with yarn in front and purl 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And turn your work. Slip 1 with yarn in back and knit 4. 2, 3, 4. And turn. Now we're in that 4th section of the honeycomb. You slip 1 with yarn in front, purl 4, that's number 4. Slip 1 with yarn in front, slip 1 with yarn in back, bring your yarn back around to the wrong side of your knitting, And then slip these last 2 stitches back to your left hand needle and turn. Now we slip 1 with yarn in back and knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the pattern, whenever you do come to the end of one of these honeycomb sections, you will be slipping the next stitch. So I'm going to finish knitting up the end of this swatch so that you can see how the row following your honeycomb stitch is knit. To create this, to continue this stockinette, you'll be purling the purl bumps on the back here. So we'll go ahead and just begin purling across. And this is all numbered for you in the chart and in the written directions. But this will give you an idea of intuitively how you will see these stitches and work them. So when you come to this slip stitch that is still in your contrast color, you will simply slip it and continue to purl the main color purl bump stitches. We have a contrast color slip stitch right here. You can see that he hasn't been knit, so we'll slip that. Purl these guys. And same for this one, a contrast color slip stitch. We'll slip that. And we are slipping those with our yarn held in the front. And that's so that it doesn't show up on the right side of our work. And now we've come to the last contrast color slip stitch in this row here, and we are going to slip it with our yarn in front. And purl these last 3 stitches. And now you can see that we've created more honeycomb stitches, or more of the honeycomb pattern, I should say. So I hope that seeing it broken down that way is helpful to you. It really does become much more intuitive as you work through it. And it creates a really fun pattern. So I hope you enjoy it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the Knitmas groups. Happy knitting!